can pull these retaining clips from air charge hose. One is on the throttle side and another one from other side, from this side where the radiator is. Then undo bolts of the suspension tank. It's T25 to undo. And black connector for coolant level, and undo bolt at filler neck for washer fluid. Next, undo fuel filter housing. It's one nut over here, 10mm socket, and two bolts from other side, also 10mm socket. And then you can pull this filter out. And this is diagram of the hoses, which is inlet pipe and outlet. So pull this hose out, and I almost forget, there is one bolt over here, T30 socket, to undo it. Maybe you will need magnets to pick up this one nut from over there. Before you remove engine mount bracket, you need to secure engine from under. And to undo bolts of this bracket, you need 18 and 16mm socket. And then you can undo bolts of this mount bracket, and you need 16mm socket to undo. Then you can remove upper belt cover. You can see how it looks like, all this timing stuff. Next step is removal of the auxiliary belt and undo bolts of the vibration damper. Undo lower and center guard of the belt. And take them off. And you can do quick inspection, and you can see coolant leak from the coolant pump. Then, using 19mm socket, turn engine by the crankshaft to align timing marks. Then insert 6mm drill bit into the alignment hole of the camshaft. And I prefer 6mm drill because it fits more precisely than this tool, but you can use it, this kind of tool. Also, you're gonna need a crankshaft locking tool, this one. And if you have all these tools, you can loosen camshaft bolts by using 13mm socket. After After loosening bolts, sprocket can move to adjust engine timing more precisely. Also, adjustable sprocket helps to spread tension on the belt more evenly. To remove belt easily, you can insert locking pin into the tensioner pulley and then rotate tensioner clockwise until it stops. You will feel it, and slightly tighten nut of the tensioner and then remove timing belt. Then undo either roller with 13mm socket and use 10mm socket to undo coolant pump and take it off. And because coolant gonna flow while you be removing coolant pump, you will need some drip tray to catch all that fluid. And of course, you can drain coolant right before coolant pump removal by taking off hoses from the radiator and oil cooler. And removal hose from the radiator is looking like this. Remove the spring clamp, and it's better to lubricate this hose because it can stuck there really good. Then you shake it till you make it. Use some screwdriver to help, and then simply pull that hose off and coolant gonna flow. After installation of the new coolant pump, tight bolts with 15 Nm. Then tighten other roller with 20 Nm. And one more time to install timing belt more easily, insert this locking pin into the tensioner roller. Then by using 6mm hex, rotate tensioner roller clockwise until you feel that it stops. Then tighten slightly nut of the tensioner roller with 15mm wrench, and you can follow this installation order of the timing belt or this one. Then loosen nut of the tensioner and pull out pin from the tensioner. Make sure that crankshaft locking tool is in place. Then to make tension on the belt, use 6mm hex and rotate tensioner clockwise until pointer reach center of this gap. Hold tensioner in this position and tighten slightly nut of the tensioner. And then tighten nut of the tensioner roller all the way with 20 Nm plus 45 degree. Hold camshaft sprocket with counterhold tool and side bolts of the sprocket with 25 Nm. Then you can remove camshaft locking tool and turn crankshaft to rotation clockwise until crankshaft is just before TDC, and it would be awesome if this pointer still remained in this position after 2 revolutions of the crankshaft. Then insert camshaft locking pin again and slowly rotate by crankshaft until it fits in place. And as I expected, this locking tool of the crankshaft doesn't fit correctly. But no problem, there is a solution for this. All you have to do now is insert locking pin into the camshaft sprocket, then loosen bolts of the sprocket. Then remove crankshaft locking tool and turn engine anti-clockwise just a little bit until pin of the crankshaft locking tool is positioned just before the hole in the sealing flange. Now rotate engine clockwise until crankshaft locking pin engages in sealing flange while turning. When it fits, check also camshaft locking tool. If it also fits easily, then you can tight bolts of the camshaft sprocket. So now everything is cool and you can tighten those bolts and assemble everything else if you need. Just remember to counterhold the sprocket and then tight bolts. To remove this mount bracket, you need to lift the engine as high as possible and then move the engine in direction of the front radiator. Then you will be able to detach this mount bracket. Also, coolant capacity is approximately 6-8 liters depending how you drain coolant. If you drain coolant while removing coolant pump, probably you will need to add only 6 liters. And this is how you can check coolant level in the expansion tank and do all that stuff that's necessary to get rid of the air in the system.